the research that I plan to do on factors that cause students to leave school. The name of my project is Dropped Out. What in fact is a dropout? There are different definitions for dropouts depending on which state that you are in education. In the state of Tennessee, though, a dropout is a person that is actually enrolled in a school at some point during the previous school year. They weren't enrolled at the beginning of this current school year. They have not graduated from high school. They haven't completed any type of GED program or any other state-approved educational program, and they do not meet any of the following criteria. They've transferred to another public school or a private system, or they have been like homebound or something like that, or any other type of state-approved school. They have some type of temporary absence due to suspension or illness or a death or anything like that. Dropouts, it takes a lot in order to be considered a dropout. Lots of things have to fall into place. There has to definitely be a defined period of the school year in which you decided to leave and not come back. It's not, if you end up going back and just finishing some type of program like a GED or an alternative certificate, then you are not necessarily considered to be a dropout. And other concepts kind of come into where you have been, some kids go into state custody and they have to finish elsewhere. So there are different things that kind of go into being considered a dropout. On the other hand, what does it mean to graduate? I know that there are a lot of graduation requirements that are different, and even in each state. In many states, the paths, like I said, vary. Students earn what's called a regular diploma. That's just where they meet the criterion in which the state has provided for them. Others complete an equivalency test, what I was talking about earlier, that general education development test, the GED. Some students are able to get a certificate that's not necessarily like a regular diploma, but things such as attendance and passing tests that the state has provided for them. In many cases, I think that this is kind of what our special education students seek, are the attendance requirements and different things like that in order for them to receive their diplomas. In Tennessee, a regular diploma is only awarded when you have completed all 12 years of your classwork and you have passed them. It ends up being 22 credit hours, and then they've now passed a new mandate where not only do you have to pass those credit hours, but you also have to take what they call EOCs, end of the course exams, and you actually have to pass those as well in order to graduate. So what is the big deal about graduating? I think that a lot of people are not taking advantage of the opportunity they have, this free education that we are blessed with in America. Lots of people tend to leave, and there's a big difference in the amount of money that one makes that graduates, in their future, their path, everything that has to do with the success of someone has a huge deal to do with whether or not they graduate. In fact, here are some statistics that I have put up here. High school dropouts are 72% more likely to be unemployed and earn $275 less than high school graduates. The 500,000 young adults that dropped out from high school between 1997 and 1998 in October were much less likely to participate in the labor force. And that was 60.9% less than their peers that actually graduated. So those that are graduating are not really contributing to any of our workforce whatsoever. High school dropouts also earn $9,200 less per year on average than those who graduate. And over the course of a lifetime, they will earn on average $375,000 less than high school graduates, and that's roughly $1 million less than going on further to being a college graduate. So although it's not necessarily like 100%, that a high school diploma, you can't be successful without one, there are huge odds going against you if you do not complete your high school diploma. So for my research, I just wanted to figure out what it was that was so important that was making students leave. I can't, as a person in education, I just can't grasp why anyone would leave such an opportunity just out there for them. So my study was to find out what factors cause students to leave high school before graduation. The purpose of this study was to identify the different factors. My intended purpose for this survey is to seek information that the participants who drop out in order to compare it to what I found in my literature review about why they dropped out. So in my study, I'm going to use a survey in which I constructed. I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get on my instrument, but the participants that I chose are from a adult high school, and the school system in which I teach, they obviously were previous high school dropouts. I've chosen 50 participants, 25 females and 25 males, and that they were volunteers, but of course I spoke with the principal there, well, I will speak with the principal there, and he will help pick my participants. My instrument, like I said before, was going to be a survey that I am going to construct myself. The first part of the survey is going to be just basic demographic questions such as their age, their gender, their race, their ethnicity. The second part of the survey is going to question about their attitudes and beliefs about dropping out. The third section are going to be more personal questions such as, do they have any regrets over their decision to leave? Has this decision positively or negatively affected their lives? Different things like that. And then the last section, I'm going to ask them questions about their educational and career choices. I'm going to ask them about their employment and different things about their history of employment and their current salaries and their incarceration history and personal health questions. Many times people say that the path that you choose really has a lot to do with your health, how you deal with different things in your lives. And when you set yourself up for success by finishing high school, sometimes all of those things can be affected. And I just wanted to kind of get a deeper look at what's going on in their lives. The procedures for this, like I had said earlier, I'm going to, after I've submitted all my proposals to the Institutional Review Board and I've gotten permission to conduct the study from the school board, I'm going to distribute my surveys to my participants. I'm going to then collect them back from them, and then I'm going to analyze both my quantitative and qualitative data to find my conclusions on what I'm looking for. And then I'm really going to look to see if what I found in my lit review matches anything that I find here, locally from what these people are telling me. I'm really interested in this study, just so maybe I could figure out ways to possibly keep students in school instead of the opposite. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.